without tear ducts. That might have been Tori laughing. Because we're all trapped inside.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in to Plus Time, a live stream comedy show to get us all through this. I'm your host, Jameson Rogers, and as always, I'm here to remind you that even though things suck right now, there's at least a possibility that they won't always suck. They say comedy is just tragedy plus time. We're in the midst of a whole bunch of tragedies all the time, always, but if we keep using whatever extra time we have to move to create things, we can all get through this and laugh or something. I don't know. I fucked it up a little bit. Getting us started off right is my co-host of 81 episodes and my brother of 29 years, Drew Rogers. What's up, dude?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Sweaty, you know, like it tends to happen down here, you know, but generally fine. How about you?
Good. I'm good. I have just been drawing, so I've in my head a bunch. I've been drawing just nonstop lately.
You've been drawing in your head?
No, it just like all my brain is just in the clouds at the moment.
Oh yeah,
I've been drawing a bunch.
Yeah, I get it. I miss you.
First
of all, right off the bat, man. I love you, dude.
I love you too.
Cool.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. If you're tuning in for the first time right now, if you're a brand new timey and you're just like, let's see what this is about, let me tell you, right? We do this show because life is hard sometimes and it throws you curveballs, and we like to tell you that it's not the end of it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be all right. Also, the one thing that sets us apart from all the other Jimmys and Jameses of late night is people don't hate me like they hate James Corden, I think, which is good. I am hopeful. And also our Andy is way off the Richter scale. I don't know what that bit is. And he can draw, is my point. Drew draws things, and you will see things that Drew drew all over the place. Here you see up in the corner, we get that corner up there. We got the Squeezecast logo that Drew. We have the background from his upcoming comic book debut, Cowtown, behind us. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Drew does a whole lot of stuff, and he will participate in the conversation. And by the end of the show, he will just have a whole tapestry of callbacks to show you. Like I can show you some of the ones from past times. Like this is last week, I think, right here. What we got there? We got Warner Brothers on Fire. We got
in the bottom right. There's
Chris
that
Pine.
Is my best Chris Pine.
It's a pretty good
after
Chris Pine.
Being spat on and after all of the gruff that he's gotten during the filming of whatever. I can't think of the name of that movie, but he's just over
Don't worry, darling.
And it was brought to you by Sweat Beer and the Society for Florence Pugh Appreciation.
Yeah, exactly. And also that is
a moldy biscuit.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that's about, but
it was because I went to a biscuit place that said that they had been open for 30 years, and then it was like not a very good biscuit. Kind of a bummer of a biscuit. But yeah, that still holds true, by the way. Like, again, everyone talked about how amazing the food is down here, and I've yet to really, like, the one place that I've had good food so far is like the bar that we found that is like kind of shrunken vibes. It's this place called 97 Astoria. It's got like a big patio that you can like hang out on. I'm sure I've talked about it on the show already, but like it's got pretty good food.
A couple times, yeah. Good. So, shout out that place then.
Shout out that place, 97 Astoria. Good stuff. You want to get to our guest?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Our guest for today, this is his 30th time on or so. I don't know, one of those. He's been on the show a bunch. He's one of our favorites. Very funny guy and a very good friend of mine. Put your hands for Luke Swisher. What's up, man?
Hi,
Hey,
I stole
guys.
Nick Glasser's intro
what's
for you.
up?
Hey, if you're gonna steal somebody's intro, you steal Nick Glasser's. One
Yeah.
of the best in the biz, kindest people I know.
Just a
Yes,
damn good
fine.
dude. Yeah, this episode
Awesome.
is all about Nick Glasser appreciation, you guys.
Let's do it. Literally, one of my favorite introduction I've ever been given on stage was at the open mic at Shrunken Head in Columbus, and I was first up. And I guess it's whoever's first. Nick will be like, "How do you want me to introduce you?"
Mhm.
And I said, "Just tell everybody how handsome you think I am." And he came up and he said, "Your first green tonight is a solid 6. Please welcome Lou Swisher." And I appreciated the accuracy that he gave. It was because, like, on a good night, that's what I'm designated as, in my mind at least. And so I'm just like, God bless him. That's great.
One of my favorite shows ever, and I'm sure we've talked about this on the show too. Nick had a show where it was like pop culture debates for a little while, like right before the pandemic.
Yeah,
And
like,
he had Luke and I debating Bill Pullman versus Bill Paxton, and it was so much fun. We had like such a good time doing that.
it was very fun. It was like the weird thing though, where like as much fun as it was, as much as I enjoy doing it, always enjoy hanging out with you guys and talking about this kind of stuff. I both felt bad because like you won, as you should have. I think you put up a better argument, but it's like not only did I feel bad during it because I didn't like being against Bill Paxton. But then after I lost, I felt bad because like I didn't even fucking do right by Bill Pullman.
You got it flipped. I was the Pullman guy.
You were the Pullman? Oh, okay. Yes, because I was getting it confused because I was like, I know one of us did like a vague Independence Day speech type of thing.
Yeah,
and then
I changed a couple words in the Independence Day speech.
and then I think I did like a full on Paxton impression,
Oh yeah, you did.
which was probably
It was
complete-
solid as I recall.
well, it helped. Like I'm the type of guy who can do an impression once I hear somebody else do an impression, and I think by that point, Paul F. Tompkins had been on Comedy Bang Bang as Brock Lovett.
Oh yeah, Brock Lovett.
Multiple times, which is just Bill Paxton's character from
It's
Titanic.
also very appropriate that you had that backwards because that's like the entire point of like why he paired those two up, just because people confuse them all the time.
Which, you know what? It's bullshit. They are very distinct actors and both beloved in their own ways.
Yeah. So, Timies, tell us which one you like better, Pullman or Paxton?
And if the answer's not both, you're a fucking jerk.
You're fucking up. One thing that I wanted to talk about, because last week we were about to have like the D23, and there was like all this speculation about things that we were going to see, and like practically none of that happened, which is kind of fine. I'm kind of relieved, honestly, like because now there's still like there's a lot, still that they're like holding close to the vest. You know what I mean?
Well, to me, every day they haven't cast the Fantastic Four is another day where John Krasinski is not Reed Richards, and I'm hoping we can do that for the rest of time.
I am too. Yeah.
Fuck out of here, Jim.
I never understood why that took off so much. I mean, I guess just because like in some later
people are
comics,
stupid.
He looked like him a little bit.
In like one fucking panel, I've seen one panel where he looked like Krasinski.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was a really shitty drawing of Reed. It's like Reed's nose doesn't look like that. What do you do?
I always thought
Reed's
it
nose
would just
can
be
look however you
fun,
want.
like just to, I was curious what kind of energy he'd bring to it.
Yeah.
But, it's just very
out-
like one note.
Yeah.
And
Turns out
anybody
the answer is
actually
none
did.
energy.
Turns out, like, what if Reed loved cops or what, or the FBI or whatever the fuck that Jack Ryan bootlicker shit he does is?
Oh yeah.
I want a fucking hard progressive Reed Richards. That's what I want.
I feel like this is a conversation. This is a conversation the three of us have had a million times, and I'm sure we've had it on the show at least once. But who is your current pick for Reed Richards?
See, I'm like, I think we talked about this before. You and I was like, I'm not even that. I don't even have like an ideal fan cast for Reed.
Right.
I just think that the internet chose the worst possible
He's
person.
the wrong guy for it. He just is the wrong guy for it.
Like I'm down with so many other like I haven't really seen him in anything, but I'm like Penn Badgley guy who everybody's saying like he plays.
That's kind of how I feel. Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything, but it's like
he
this
apparently
guy seems
plays
fine.
like a charming sociopath, and it's like that's not Reed sometimes.
Exactly.
Reed
Yeah.
can get a little much.
Yeah, he's a mad scientist and that smiles and has a big rock bodyguard.
Yeah. Who he always feels bad is like, I made my friend a big rock.
I always have this theory that he knows how to fix him. He just knows that he would lose his bodyguard if he did.
Ooh, dude, that's good. That totally fits with Reed too. Yeah. And he would just like selfishly never actually help him, like because he does the like what once a year he can like turn him back to like normal.
Yeah, and they did the thing, the bummer thing in like the dance slot run or whatever, where it's like on his honeymoon he got it, and then the Hulk showed up being puppeted by the puppet master, and then he had to like fight him as he was. Off. Yeah, well, technically, it was as he was turning back into human form. So he was like, he's getting beat up, and then he's also becoming human. And then, like, the Hulk, I forget how the Hulk fucks off, but then he's just in a coma the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's like, we were going to start a family. Oh, no. And then Dan Slott's like, I'm going to give you annoying alien children.
Yeah, a Skrull and a Kree kid.
It's like,
I've been reading that series again. I think
I haven't read the whole thing. I would read it in fits and starts.
Yeah, I'm just like kind of coming back to it now. I think I'm on like issue 40 something probably. I don't know.
I really don't understand what the whole point of the arc of Johnny being on fire all the time, because I feel like it didn't really lead to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can't lead anything because it's hard to make any personal growth in comics.
You're just on fire.
Well, also it's like if there's a character who is part of their character for them to not learn lessons or to unlearn lessons very quickly, it would be Johnny Storm. It's just like I'm never gonna fuck around ever again. Oh, look at that! And then he just sees like some fresh hotties and is like, I'm gonna get my flame on in their badonkadonk.
Oh, it's like every other issue. He's just like, oh, well, it fucked up this relationship. It's like, dude,
time to move on to the next one.
Johnny.
Like, I fucked the lady who's about to marry Dr. Doom. Oh no.
Yep. That's the last issue I read, actually.
I want to see Johnny do like the curly, like run around on the floor in a circle, but he's like on fire.
Yeah. He just sets fire to a town.
Just because he's like, whoops, I fucked the wrong girl again.
So what did we actually learn at D23? We got the Werewolf by Night trailer, which it looks fun.
Yeah, I think it looks
different.
Great. I hope is it confirmed that the whole thing is going to be in black and white?
I really hope so.
Yeah,
because that'd be a really cool move.
Well, in the trailer, it was such an authentic, like old school British horror. Like if you've seen the Don't trailer, the Grindhouse trailer that Edgar Wright did, it like very much is similar, like that kind of vibe.
Yeah, it really is.
Hammer horror. Yeah, that looks. And I don't think either I forgot or didn't know that fucking Michael Giacchino directed it, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I don't. Yeah. You don't see that jump very often going from scoring to directing. So that's very interesting.
That is cool. And it's super awesome to use a horror movie in that way too, because it's 100%. Like the majority of a horror movie is music and suspense.
Yeah, and pacing.
Like, otherwise,
it's very important.
Yes. So
otherwise, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I don't remember. Otherwise, yes. Good.
Otherwise, yes, as well. Yeah, no, I'm very excited about that. I saw kind of a fan theory, but I'm not gonna say it here.
Also, I need to watch the trailer again because I just yesterday heard it's like, oh, you can see Man Thing in there for a second.
Yeah.
Like, what I totally missed, man. I didn't even see Man Thing.
Yeah. Oh, watch it again. There's Man Thing and there's like some TVA too.
Shit. I mean, if Man Thing, a lot of things where I'm just like, can we? I'm trying to find ways that this could lead us into a full Howard the Duck thing, because Howard the Duck
Yeah.
first premiered in Man Thing.
Mhm.
So
I wa-
like,
I want some like
Yeah.
some Groot type shorts, but it's just like Howard the Duck, and they're a little, like I want like 10-minute Howard the Duck shorts.
I mean, I would love it. I would love it. I like. I started to write a Howard the Duck short like 2 years ago. I was like, I gotta get back into script writing. I get my sea legs, so I started writing like a Howard the Duck thing.
If you're trying to get your sea
I
legs, you
love
have to write about semi-aquatic animals.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's just how it works.
Also, like they need to do a Howard the Duck thing just so that they can reference the whole like. I want him to, especially now that Disney owns him. I need to there be some sort of metatextual reference to the fact that like he had to start wearing pants at a certain point because Disney sued because he looked too much like Donald Duck, and so their comment was like, "We'll give him pants." Like,
Sorry.
okay, done. Okay, you're good.
All right, you're good. Don't worry about it. Hey, we're the people who do pantsless ducks. All right.
Yeah.
Do they take his pants off now? They're like, well, I guess like it's fine to reference our own characters.
No, I think I think he still wears pants because like I read the Zdarsky run I think last year, and he's very much wearing pants. And although that was post Disney buyout because that's like 2015. But he's also like a private detective by that point, and I feel like they want to give him like a nice full suit.
I started watching the movie again the other day. It's like I have a habit of just like starting movies that like are universally regarded as like not very good at like 2:00 in the morning. Like I'm just gonna throw this on, and then I'll probably come back to it at some point.
Like I'm probably gonna fall asleep around the time that the duck tits come out, and then I'm gonna have some really fun dreams.
No, I stayed awake for the duck tits because that's pretty
Ooh.
early in the movie.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes in.
Yep. Twice. It's just like duck tits again.
Yeah.
Duck tits. Ooh.
What's great about the duck tits is that it being that early is that it fully shows you this movie is going to be very weird and also like way too horny. Yeah. Like,
which it's very it's very duck dick forward. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean you see a duck condom.
Yep.
Gross.
What else did we see?
Forgot about that.
We saw the Secret Invasion trailer, which looked pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that one. I think Luke, you said you were like a little bit more on the fence on that one.
Well, I just thought like I mean, obviously the Werewolf by Night trailer is such a distinct, like visual and stylistic thing, and then the Secret Invasion was more like, okay, yeah, this looks like a standard Marvel trailer, kind of. I watched it again, and I was kind of vibing with it more, but also at the same like a cast like you put fucking Ben Mendelsohn and Olivia Colman in the same thing, and like, well, yeah, I'm gonna watch this and enjoy it because I love those two our finest actors that we have maybe right now. Like
I watched it again earlier today, and like I think that like the trailer for Secret Invasion looks the most like Winter Soldier feels. It feels like kind of like this like more of a thriller than
I was about to say
recently.
I was about to say, I know it's just a trailer, but the feeling I got from that trailer is way more of the like paranoid political thriller than the Winter Soldier. Like, and the Winter Soldier was really like that was their big push with like, it's like a paranoid thriller. It's like it kind of has themes of that, but it doesn't. It just feels like a movie about a guy who punches real good. Like,
I mean, I love the hell out of that one.
I do like Winter Soldier a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I feel like that trailer feels like as close as we've gotten to that in a little while, which is good. Like, you know, it's good to mix it up. Like, what else did we actually learn? Like, we got some casting. Oh yeah, no. Tim Blake Nelson is coming back as leader after what, like,
that's
14 years, you know?
Yeah. Which, I mean, again, that's another guy who it's like super talented, incredibly watchable actor.
Yeah. And they tease it at the end of Incredible Hulk. They tease it just so slightly. They don't tell you anything. You just see like veins in his head moving, and it's like, oh, here we go, here it goes. And it's kind of strange that they're putting him in a Captain America movie, actually. But like, I'm into it. It'll be good.
What else? Someone on Twitter pointed out that it's like, so the villain in this new Captain America movie is played by a Jewish actor, and the subtitle for the movie is New World Order.
Oh no.
I don't think. Here's the thing. I mean, obviously, I do not think that was intentional.
No,
but
no,
it's one of those things where it's just like, you guys need to hire somebody to like look at these things from that
like
perspective.
think about this.
Yeah.
But also, like, what else are you gonna call it? I feel like that title just was kind of like built in from when they started developing Cap 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea what the plot is, so like,
Me
I don't
neither.
even know if that works for the plot. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be, actually based on the story New World Order, where Red Skull put together a team of villains because he was like, we're gonna all take over and it's gonna be awesome. And they're all like, yeah. And that's pretty much all the story is. So,
Mhm.
so I'm
And
curious.
And Cap
Yeah,
4 is pre-Thunderbolts, is that correct?
Ooh, I don't know.
Good question.
Also, Thunderbolts, we get like kind of the roster for Thunderbolts, which is a little samey, admittedly, but I'm excited about it just because like the characters themselves, like the actors, I just want to see like kind of how they all play off of one another, and I'm excited to see the further development of Taskmaster, because I think that everybody acts like Black Widow just like ruined that character, like because it's just like, no, it's just sometimes things take a little more time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like in order to earn it, you just kind of have to like start at a different point than you're expecting, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's more than welcome. They are more than welcome to take a crack at their own, thing, and they
Right.
clearly have.
Yeah. Well, and also like, I mean, I haven't read a lot of stuff with Taskmaster in it. Is his personality like that strong that like kind of taking that out of the equation is really ruining the kid? Like, it feels like people like him more because of how, well, now the character, for how he looks, because he's got a big skull mask and a sword.
Yeah.
And then his power set. Like, other than that, like, kind of what is there to Taskmaster?
He's really cocky. He's like, because like it's so rare that anyone can beat him, because he can just literally study your moves after like 15 seconds, and he's like, all right, well, I know what you're going to do here, and I know how to beat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's kind of cocky. He's just kind of like, he's a fun character. He shows up in a lot of Deadpool books.
I feel like the last time I read like Taskmaster was like in the Nick Spencer Spider-Man run, where he was like bros with Black Ant or whatever, who's like the evil Ant-Man or whatever, and they were like kind of like a weird sort of like goofy villain buddy duo throughout that run.
There is a Taskmaster book that I think it was like 2-3 years ago, where it's just like his book, and it's pretty good because he's on the run the whole time, because he's like, someone's trying to kill me, and they're saying that I killed Maria Hill. Just like, wait, what? And the person that's after him is Natasha. And so he's like running for his life because he's like, hey, the Black Widow's trying to kill me. Yeah. I need to clear my name.
Yeah.
But the series starts with two like fat cats who have hired, one of them hired Taskmaster and the other one hired Bullseye to golf for them.
That's funny. Like the Randolph brothers or whatever from or is that their name? No, the Dukes. The Duke brothers from Trading Places. Randolph and Mortimer.
It was the Dukes. It was the Dukes.
Yeah, I know, that's how I remembered their last name. It's like, okay, wait. It was the Randolphs. Anyway, But here's what like I think like is exciting about like where they leave that character too. Like when you actually like meet the character in Black Widow and you like find out her whole thing, she's what Antonia Drakova, right? But like after everything that happens, after like you find out what happened to her, after she gets like released from like her dad's control or whatever, like yeah, she'll probably go by Tony Masters. You know what I mean? It totally makes sense that she would like take that name, not want to go by her name anymore, not want to use her father's name, you know? And it would make like, and I think like now that she's like not being like constantly controlled, then she'll have a personality. And I think it's like exciting because I've seen that actress like I saw her in like a Craig Ferguson interview and I was like, she's fun. I think this is going to be
She's
good.
also the only Eastern European person in that cast, and she doesn't speak.
She will. I think she will a little bit. Oh, in that movie. Oh, in the Black Widow movie. Yeah. Yeah. She says
everyone around her is
That's
just
the
doing
one line.
shitty Russian accents while she can actually.
I mean, like
naturally has that shitty accent.
I feel like I like the first 2/3 of Black Widow more than most people, but that last act is I hate it so much.
It's kind of.
I love Ray Winstone, but what the fuck is he like?
Yeah.
Like,
and then it's just like they're falling out of the sky for years. It's like they're just gonna keep on falling out of the sky. It's like okay.
Like there's only so much sky to fall out of,
right?
What is this, Spy Kids 2? The Island of Lost Dreams?
What are you in some kind of infinite pit that Steve Buscemi owns? Get out of here!
Get out of here! Wait, let me guess. Mike Judge is gonna show up at some point. Get out of here!
God, he's in that movie. He's in like the whole trilogy, isn't he?
Probably. I mean, I'm assuming he and Rodriguez are just tight because they're both like Texas dudes.
Oh yeah, so maybe. Yeah, that makes sense.
I love the escalation of Machete through those movies. That it's just like, oh, Uncle Machete, you'd make some cool stuff, and you're a rascal. And it's just like you get the machete, and you're like, oh my god.
I still have not seen either of the Machete movies, and I think there's another one on its way too.
There's a nut. Wow.
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I feel like Robert Rodriguez is one of those directors who just like he has like 1,000 things in development at a time, and then just like you don't know which one he's gonna do until he releases it.
Didn't he just make, or is he in the process of making another Spy Kids movie for like Netflix?
I believe so. I think that will be number 4 or 5 or 5 or 6.
No, yeah, it would be. Wouldn't we? Yeah, it would, because I think like the fourth one had like Joel McHale in it, and like Jessica Alba. Like that, yeah. I think that was part of her downward spiral.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's Machete Kills, and Machete Kills in Space.
Okay. Going the Leprechaun route. Yeah.
I'm into it. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Or Amityville Horror. They just had a super shitty low budget.
In space. Machetes in space.
He's also apparently doing this says 2021.
Machete.
So this is probably not happening, but there was a TV series announced that was a Zorro show that he was doing.
Oh,
that would have been kind of dope.
Would Danny Trejo be playing Zorro?
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm talking about Robert.
Oh, you just mean Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Like, I'm real hot and cold on Rodriguez, but like that sounds, especially because you know that you would definitely have the cast be Latinx instead of like a Welsh lady in Spain and Anthony Hopkins,
right?
How many times has Anthony Hopkins played a not white dude in something, and dude, it's like, guys,
so
come
weird.
on, what are we doing? Like, there's a reason why he's Odin. It's because he's the whitest man alive. Of course, he's playing like the father of the Norse gods.
Oh my god. Okay, where else are my notes I left? What else did we actually learn from D23, Drew?
We learned that the D was in our hearts the whole time.
There was some casting for a character I didn't really know much about that is in He's like an Israeli hero that's going to be in Cap 4 as well.
Oh yeah, Sabra, I believe is the
Okay.
name. So
yeah, I don't know
Or
that character.
Saber, I think. Just
Saber.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not super or I don't know him very well either, but it seems like they're going to be pulling heroes that exist in other places this
Well,
time instead of like really like taking the like, okay, there are people all over the planet, not just America, that
That's what I think.
can do these things.
Yeah. That's what I think Phase 4 hasn't really gotten enough credit for, or like, well, you know, it's gotten hate about it, is like that it has really broadened, like, not, you know, there's all this cool stuff happening in this universe, but it's not all in the United States. You know what I mean? Like, you get Shang-Chi, and you get Black Widow, and you get Ms. Marvel, and you get Moon Knight, and just like all these different things that are kind of just like happening concurrently, and then people act like nothing has happened in Phase 4, and I don't get that. Anyway, that's I don't want to
It's
go
like you've gotten all of these shows.
fans.
What more do you want? Like,
I don't know.
Well, and like, and you know, transparency. Like, I'm not as you know, and we talked about this. I haven't been as high on MCU in general as you guys
right.
have. But I feel like one of the, and I think it's a thing I worry about for the MCU in general is that I feel like people are just like expecting big endgame crossovers like constantly
like
now,
every time. Yeah,
and I'm worried that that's what Marvel is going to start to try to do. It's just like fucking terrible because like that's not, I don't know. Then it just becomes constant like event comics, which
right.
is
And
like
then
not
and
what
then
you
it's
want.
like not even, it's not special anymore. It's not fun. It's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
you're not. But I think they're really doing a good job of like telling these kind of smaller stories too. You know, let's see. I mean, obviously, Ms. Marvel, I think they did a great job with that one.
that
It's, like,
was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
it's
And
a
that
little bit
actually,
more grounded for most of it.
and that actually got like, I would think I might have just been in I'm in a grumpy mood most days around this time, but I feel like I was in a grumpy mood at the start of Miss Marvel when I finally sat down and watched it, and then like as that show got going, I got way more on board, especially when she goes I forget what city she went to.
Karachi?
But Karachi.
Correct.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like Karachi was like I didn't want to say it just because like I feel like that's like the first Iranian city that comes to my mind, and so it's like I don't want to like I've heard Kumail say that name a bunch, so I don't want to be racist.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that she went to Karachi.
That'd be like, oh, it's like they went to America, like New York, right? It's like no, they were in Omaha. Like I really like the flashback episode, which I'm not usually down for like
That was
flashback
so
episodes. I
That
thought
was a
that
really
they did a
good one.
really good job.
And it's like they did such a good job of telling that story without being like preachy at all. That it was just like instead of it being like, oh, I have to go do this in order for this, it's like she was just there to like witness it all and was just overwhelmed by the whole thing. And somehow she was the one who was able to help her, great grandma.
Yeah, and even though there's like
yeah.
Right, and even though there's like the thing with the bangle, and even though like she's there by like supernatural means or whatever, it feels very grounded because you're just watching this real historical event just kind of unfold just around these characters, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you guys? I don't know if we've talked about how do you guys feel about the power switch, about the altering.
It's similarly to how I feel about like the way Taskmaster showed up, because I feel like they do that intentionally. Like I feel like the bangle itself is what gives it the kind of crystalline look, you know? And I feel like and then finding out that she is a mutant at the end of that show, spoilers for the one person who is watching. If you haven't watched it, my bad. But then you find out she's a mutant. I think eventually she's going to lose the bangle, which is like some kind of Kree tech or something, and then you'll see like she'll just have like what you usually see. You'll see her in her full fucking embiggened glory.
Yeah,
and
because
I think that that'll either happen in Marvels, or they'll save it for like a big reveal where like, oh no, Reed Richards is here to save the day. No, it wasn't Reed Richards. In fact, you know what I mean? I think that would be dope.
No, yeah, and obviously it makes sense because we have in Marvel Comics that mutations do change and alter as people grow, or if like you're the Beast, when you try to fuck off, you try to get rid of your fucking big feet. Fuck you, asshole! Now you're Blue Cat Man.
That's why he's my favorite, because he was just like, it was purely like of good intention that he did that, and then it's just like, and now you ruined your life.
That was like I think they talked about this on Screw It. We're just going to talk about comics, where it's like this weird sort of like, or maybe it was Blank Check, but it's like this sort of like fate where it's like, no, you can't do that. It's like, Spider-Man, you take the serum to get rid of your powers. You got 8 arms now, fucker. Now you have to deal with this for like 3 issues.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's like,
and if it weren't bad enough, here, vampire, deal with that.
Yeah, it's like, Bruce, you want to get rid of the Hulk? Well, now you got like a bunch of fucked up Hulks personas you have to deal with now. You little piece of shit. Fuck you.
How dare you have ambitions, you motherfucker?
How dare you want a normal life, you prick? I mean, that's the thing. Like watching
comics too, you know, like.
Well, it's like watching She-Hulk, the first episode. Like people had really horrible misogynistic problems with that episode. My problem was like, I feel like she was just a little bit too mean to Bruce in the episode. Because this is the guy, like, remember like the first Ruffalo movie where he fully says, I shot myself in the fucking mouth. Why? So like, cool it on like the mental. I was shocked that there wasn't.
Well, she wasn't there for that conversation either.
True,
you know
this is true. This is true. Yeah. But I was just like, because I think that conversation worked better with comics Bruce, who is, after all these years, has been. There are definitely runs where Bruce Banner is a full on asshole. And you're just like, maybe you fucking deserve this, you turd.
But also, like, I mean, unconfirmed in the MCU currently, but like Bruce's backstory is incredibly fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his dad killed his mom and like
in front of him.
Yeah. And
his dad would beat him and tell him to stay quiet in a corner. It would get worse. Yeah. And so he would just
be like, I'm your father, Hulk.
I always read it like Nick Nolte, even though.
Well, that's I'm just ripping off Griffin Newman because he does like I think it's from like the movie Warrior or some line where Nick Nolte says, I'm your father, and so he just says, I'm your father, Hulk. But
the Al Ewing, what is that?
Oh, the Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk is so fucking crazy, but like all the stuff with his dad, like in his head, and his dad is just like, oh my god. Like, you know, if that one person that is watching right now is a comic fan and you haven't read Immortal Hulk, fucking get on it, because that shit is insane. Have you read that one, Luke?
I read it off and on, because it was just like, I don't know, like this, especially when it's just like I'm having trouble rooting for, especially at the beginning. You're having trouble rooting for the Hulk because he's just he's the devil Hulk, as he then became known.
Exactly.
But then as I was going in out, like I just need to sit down and because that's very much a thing where if you you don't read a number of issues and then you hop back on, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Why is Rick Jones like melded into another guy?
Oh yeah, like, that whole thing.
I'm so sick of that guy.
Rick Jones,
I have never liked him. It's just like, hey, I'm just here. Oh, the Hulk's my best friend.
he's the reason Hulk hulked initially, right? Because he was like trying to save him.
I was like, oh, I'm in danger, and he's like, oh, I'll help you, and then
like, don't worry, Rick.
I'm out here.
And it's like, well, can we remain friends? Because that was pretty cool. Or it's like, sure.
Just go away, Rick. Please just go away.
Well, and you can't really, because like Rick Jones also then became like essentially everybody's sidekick at one point or another. Like he was Captain America's sidekick. He was the original Captain Marvel's. Well, no, wasn't the thing with Rick Jones and Captain Marvel was like they would switch out where it's like Rick Jones be walking around and Captain Marvel would be in like the negative zone or something.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you'd be like, oh, I need to like switch back. And then like poor Rick Jones would be in the fucking negative zone, like, Jesus Christ, I hope he fucking fixes whatever it is quick.
Yeah, it's like it's like when in the Ultimate Universe you find out that there's like more to what like Spider-Man's accident and everything. And it's like, okay, you know what I mean? Like I think it's more fun if it's like this is just a random happenstance that happened to this dude, you know, and it wasn't for any reason other than he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Where like with Rick Jones or whatever, it's just like he hung around long enough that he's just had a whole bunch of different powers sets and stuff. And it's like all right.
He's been friends with like half
Can't
the
he just
Avengers.
be a guy? Like at this point, who in the Marvel universe like has just remained a person? You know what I mean? But it's like, you know,
shit.
Such a on a long enough timeline, everyone's gonna have
Yeah.
their shit.
Even like fucking Betty Ross became
Harpy now.
Harpy and I think like a female Hulk at some like.
Yeah, she became like a female Red Hulk at one point in time.
Here's a good question, especially because they're bringing back Tim Blake Nelson. Are we gonna get fucking Ty Burrell showing up with green fucking hair? Like,
oh, I hope not.
Big long shitty green hair.
That's another character I don't give a shit about. And they're like, you know, him and Rick Jones are both like prominent in the Immortal Hulk story, but I'm like, I don't care about either of these.
But then there's the Hulk. I mean, again, this is from me just going in and out. Where it's like I think like the end of Immortal Hulk, like Sasquatch is in Doc Samson's body. Or like
what is happening there?
I don't know. And then like
so much of that series too is just like I don't know, he's got DID and it's gamma motivated. It's like, so we don't understand it. It's like, okay. And dude, and I'm not putting the series down because it is legitimately a very fun read. It's just like, you know, comic logic is just like, what the fuck?
Like if you sit down and try to explain somebody the best comic in the world, you will sound like either a raving lunatic or like a slack-jawed idiot. Like because it's like, well, you see what happened was Dr. Octopus and Peter Parker, they switched brains, and nobody seems to notice.
All right. You guys want to play a game?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Cool. This is a game that we like to call... It's hard to stop talking about comics, you guys.
It is.
If you, the one time you're watching right now, if it's your first time watching, you might not know how we play this game. The way we play this game is as follows. Drew has drawn a character, and we're going to throw that character up on the screen. We're going to ask Luke questions to try to flesh them out as a character. Sound cool? Cool.
I love
Here we go. Your person is here. Boom! Look at that. And then we'll throw them down in the corner here and let us get these questions. All right. What is this character's name?
Porky's 2. That's it. He's named after the film Porky's 2.
Is that like a situation where it's like Ron Howard names his daughters after the place that he boned?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What happened? What had happened was there's an alien and he came down to try to woo a lady and impregnate her and so he was trying to figure out Earth culture and he's like, I guess the best place to get a lady hot was to go see Porky's 2. I know there's a subtitle to Porky's 2, but I can't think of what it is.
I think it's The Next Day. Is that
yes,
right? Or
Next Day. I just looked it up because I was very
honestly kind of a great.
That's a good subtitle.
I was like, wait, they made another Porky's? I need to look at that.
They did. They made it The Next Day.
The Next Day.
Yeah,
They're
so
like, all right,
like, this
everybody
movie's doing
back
all right.
in
Let's just go ahead and do
studio.
this.
We've got work to do.
but and when the problem was that because he was conceived, because the way this alien species works is like when you conceive it, when his surroundings kind of like influence him. So instead of like, wanting to join, it's kind of like Invincible, except instead of if Invincible didn't want to be a superhero, he just wanted to wear open short sleeve button up shirts and go trolling for Strange.
I like the idea that Porky Stew has a friend whose name is Porky Stew,
Porky Stew.
and they get confused for each other all the time.
It's so annoying.
Yeah,
It honestly ruined their friendship because they can't hang out anymore.
no, they can't hang out because people get too confused. What's his job?
Oh, he works at the last Suncoast Video store in America, which actually has not been fully operating, but he still goes into work because he's just always hungover from the night before.
Yeah, so he's not noticed that it's been like defunct for a long time.
Yeah. And he'll get one of those like urban explorer people who are like, I got a GoPro and I'm going in this abandoned mall or whatever. Except he just thinks that they're customers who are really bad about paying their bill.
Hey, I'm Porky Stew. Welcome to
Suncoast Video.
Suncoast Video.
I don't even know if Suncoast Video if that was a national chain or not.
I don't even know. That's one of the few video stores I did not work at.
I feel I feel like I was born too late. Like I feel like I would have loved to have worked in a video store.
I worked at Blockbuster and Family Video, very briefly at Family Video.
So the two that were available to you.
Yeah, I applied for Hollywood Video, but they never called me back.
They said he didn't have the face for it.
Hey, go over to Family Video. Maybe they would be more accepting.
Although at the end of the day, those were like whatever. Real quick tangent. Very funny comedian Matt McCarthy. He worked on the P. Holmes Show, whatever. But he has a TikTok that's almost exclusively him talking about physical media because he has a basement that's just like filled with DVDs and lots of VHS tapes. He has like 300 VHS tapes that are just him taping different things, and people like request like video 174, and he's like, okay, and then he gets it up and like, oh, I taped TGIF. And he just pops it in and starts watching like these random sitcoms that I barely remember, and he's like, "This is fucking terrible." But he was talking like
Teen Angel.
Yeah, I think that was one of them. I think he watched a like promo for Teen Angel that was dog shit.
Drew, do you remember Teen Angel?
I don't.
That one was fun. It was like this Italian kid eats a bad burger, and he dies, and then so he like becomes his best friend's guardian angel.
Which I feel like the only reason that might not have lasted is because it starts with the death of a child. Like,
yeah, he's like a 17-year-old kid who dies because of an old burger. It's like, okay.
So clearly they just had the idea for the angel part.
Yeah. Like, all right. I don't know where to go from here. And then Jerry Van Dyke was like the friend's grandfather.
What are you doing? It's my big Jerry Van Dyke impersonation, I guess.
Solid Jerry Van Dyke.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Brother's still kicking though.
Yeah.
All right, where does he live?
Oh man. I feel like I should do research on see if Suncoast Video was a national chain because I want to be accurate.
Come on.
I'll say he lives in Modesto, California.
Yep.
I feel like
we just had someone from Modesto, California as well.
Well, shit. Well, he moved to Modesto. He's originally from Pasadena. He grew up with Nick Weiger. I think Nick Weiger's from Pasadena. He's some fucking California boy.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah.
Motion Picture Company.
And Porky Stew was the more normal of the two growing up.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Despite the name.
Suncoast Video, the first one opened in Roseville, Minnesota in 1986. Um,
Well, I'm sure there was.
yeah, there's a bunch of them. I don't know.
I mean, Minnesota's close enough to California. I'm sure there was some out there.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, and then he lives in he lives in Modesto now, and he's friends with whoever it was that was from Modesto that you had recently.
Which I could find out if I did the research and watched one of his
research, smear search.
unfortunately, I got a damn
Smear
job.
search. By the way, smear search is my new. That's my new bagel based reality competition show.
Speaking of bagels, what does he eat? Does he eat bagels?
He actually he eats he'll eat a nice loaf of rye bread dipped in queso. So he'll just take a loaf of rye bread, dip it in a vat of queso, and just eat that whole.
Is it weird that sounds good?
No,
I mean, Ryan queso seems like not a naturally good combination, but like I'm into it.
I mean, like, what are two great foods? Bread and cheese. You just put them together.
Yep.
I mean, you might think it's basic, but I mean, I forgot to tell you, Porky's too has a very similar. He has an egg allergy, very similar to Jason Mantzoukas. So he has to eat really basic foods. So that's why it's just queso and rye bread. He'll have a sauce. He'll have a sauce or a milk every now and then.
That's a very funny image. Like this purple man, the large purple man, just sipping out of a plate of milk.
Yeah. Well, no, he licks it like a cat.
It's like, I want to do this.
Picture a man with just a huge loaf of rye bread just dripping in melted cheese. And then he takes a huge bite out of it, swallows it, and then he just has a little tiny sauce from it.
Yeah. And somebody's there like, you want a cup for that? And he's like, no, I'm good.
Be like, yeah. Don't tell me. I don't. How about I don't tell you how to eat. You don't tell me how to eat.
I'm Porky's too. I do what I want.
Yeah.
What's Porky's too? Just dream.
Well, he has in terms of actual dreams, he has a recurring dream that he is the prime minister of Norway, and he just runs that place in the fucking ground, and so that's why he'll never go into politics. But his aspirational dream is that he wants to open a Greek yogurt stand in Venezuela because there's not enough Greek yogurt there. It's a really basic dream. He mostly just has heard that Venezuela. Again, he's a little horny boy, and he's heard that Venezuela's got some fine ass women, and women love Greek yogurt, according to Porky's too.
Full of women, but it's low on yogurt.
Yeah. I think he just saw like John Stamos advertising Greek yogurt, and he's like, John Stamos gets a lot of tang, so then I'll do the thing that the guy who gets a lot of tang does, and I'll do it in the place where I most want to get tang, and
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Well, that does that answer this question? What does he sound like? Is that what he sounds like?
He kind of talks like this. He's got kind of a more cartoony young Al Pacino. It's like, Attica, come on, what are you doing over here? Come on. I have a trans boyfriend. This movie's ahead of its time.
Just everything I know.
I just saw that movie for the first time like 3 months ago.
I literally never seen it. I'm just piecing it together from stuff that I know about it from like probably I Love the 70s.
Dog Day Afternoon, pretty solid.
I mean, John Cazale's in it, and he's like he's in like 6 movies, and they're all great.
Yeah, like all of them are good.
He's like a legendary run.
So. Yeah,
I mean, that's Deer Hunter is a hard movie to like get in the mood to watch.
Yeah, what is it? Like Godfathers 1 and 2, Dog Day Afternoon, what
Deer
else?
Hunter
Deer Hunter
and
No, I gotta look it up.
by the way, Blank Check's doing Kubrick right now, so I watched Lolita for the first time last week. Can't recommend.
Yeah.
Cannot recommend.
I listened to the episode because I did not want to watch the movie.
There's like a maybe 10 to 20 minute chunk where I was kind of on the movie's vibe because it was getting weirdly, darkly comedic in a way that it almost reached like happiness levels, if you know that the Todd Solondz movie.
Yeah.
Like Dylan Baker section where it's like the most disturbing thing, but presented in almost a Looney Tunes cartoon fashion of Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote thing. But then the problem with Lolita is like the movie is not nearly good enough to justify being about such gross shit. James Mason.
The other movie he's in is The Conversation.
Oh, Conversation's fucking. Conversation's great.
Yeah, another Coppola, right?
Yeah. Yes, that was like what he did either right before or right after Godfather.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman, fantastic supporting role
between the Godfathers.
Between two Godfathers, starring Zach Galifianakis. But Harrison Ford has a small supporting role. It's a big departure for him, because he's kind of like a very creepy, like untrustworthy, like assistant guy to like whatever. Like it's a really good movie.
I'll check it out. First of all, put your hands for Porky's 2, the being not the movie Porky's 2, please.
No, yeah, I'm sure Porky's 2 the movie fucking blows.
Yeah. If you are rooting for Porky's 2 the movie, then get the hell out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
This is 2022. Come on. Change with the times.
Oh.
They always get turned into dirtbags every single time.
Luke, what's my new name? Today I've been new personville townman, I think for the past couple episodes, because I think I forgot to ask Yanni this question last week.
I'm going to say that your new name is first name Calvin Coolidge, last name Jimmy Carter.
Okay. Calvin Coolidge, Jimmy Carter. That was very funny. Oh, okay. Drew, did you send me your tapestry?
I just did. Yeah, I sent it to your Gmail.
I'm very excited about this one. We talked a lot of comics.
We did, yeah. We went over our usual time this time, but it's okay. Yeah. We talked comics. We need to do a podcast of this too.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about real quick non-comics D23, that new I don't care at all about the movie Enchanted, but I know that Disenchanted features Griffin Newman.
Good.
Features Griffin Newman as the voice of a chipmunk.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw the trailer and I was like, that voice sounds kind of familiar. And usually I'm like immediately like I know that voice or whatever, and I can.
Well, it is pitched up. So
yeah, he's pitched up a little bit, but I was like, that does sound a little familiar. And then I like saw like on the Blank Check subreddit, it's like, hey, our boy Griffin Newman showing up.
Jumping jelly sticks. Why am I talking?
Let's take a look at Drew's tapestry here. All right. We got Porky's stew. Is that Porky's stew right there?
That's great.
I love it. That Miss Marvel is dope as fuck, Drew.
That's a very good Kamala Khan.
Yeah. I really messed up the Hulks using a Sharpie.
Oh,
I just like started out with a Sharpie and I'm like, why am I doing this? Let me go back and nope, can't fix it.
I love the is that Howard and Donald just like working together, doing a buddy cop thing? I'm all about
their
it.
New movies coming out. It doesn't have a title yet, but it does have a tagline. It's get ready to ruffle some feathers.
Oh shit.
I love it. Machete in space, very cool. I love that you have Nick Glasser's hat over there. Shout out
Uh-huh.
Nick Glasser, of course. The that thing looks pretty sweet too. I like that.
I'm
good
really
thing.
happy with that. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
good thing.
and the Fantastic Four just symbol is just like it gives me hope. I'm
Mhm.
very excited about Fantastic Four showing up in our lives, and I just hope that I make it that far, guys.
Yeah. But like I think like the reason so many people are kind of obsessed about that movie is because like they are such an important pillar of Marvel Comics and have
Mhm.
yet to have a good adaptation at all.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
imagine if Superman never had the
Richard Donner.
two Richard Donner movies or the DC animated universe stuff in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
I was gonna argue that one. That those are the only times where it was like Superman, like essential pinnacle of Superman
Yeah.
is the animated stuff.
But and then you look at like when if your IP's best movie is an unreleased Roger Corman film, things have gone awry.
Is that really the best one? I've never actually seen that one.
I mean, from what I've seen of it, it definitely seems like I feel like it's more earnest than like the Tim Story movies are cartoonish, but they're also like annoyingly like.
There's a
I
lot
don't
to
know.
love about that first one. I haven't seen the second one in a little while, but I
Mhm.
watched the first Tim Story one recently. I think I went backwards because I watched the 2015 one, which I've seen
Oof.
twice now, but it was on Disney Plus, and I'm like, how bad is this? I remember
It's
it being very bad, and it is very, very bad, that movie. It is
Very
so
bad.
fucking like there's no redeeming qualities in that movie at all. But the Tim Story one has like some good moments, some good qualities, and fucking Chris Evans is so good in that part.
I mean, well,
Like,
yeah,
that's the thing.
He's good.
He's
at
so good in
all
both
of
of his
them.
Marvel parts that it's just like, and it's weird like going back and watching his Johnny Storm because it's like, dude, he was born to play this part, and then you remember like, oh no, but he's so fucking good as Captain America, you know?
Yeah.
well, and then Chris Evans had kind of a role of a role of movies, an era of time, however you want to say it, where he would be in a lot of shitty movies and be like the one good part of them.
Yeah.
Which is also like similar to kind of like I feel like Robert Downey Jr. had that for like a smidge of time,
think
like
that's true, yeah.
post rehab where he was in like the Shaggy Dog with Tim
Oh
Allen.
yeah, I never saw
But-
that one.
Yeah.
either.
The only thing I remember that movie is the reviews were like, this
That
movie's
and
kind of like blah, but Robert Downey Jr. is really good at it. Like,
Guide to Recognizing Your Saints was one after
Oh,
that too, right?
he's great in that
oh
movie.
yeah,
I remember really liking that movie, but it's been a little while.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm not
haven't.
sure how well it
I haven't
holds up.
watched it in a long time.
Well,
And,
he was-
and he and Shia LaBeouf play the same character, and Shia LaBeouf was great in that movie.
Mhm.
yeah.
Rosario Dawson and Melanie Diaz playing the same character. Eric Roberts and Channing Tatum playing the same character. It's just,
That's
like, fucking
wild.
weird. Yeah, yeah.
That's wild.
Well, Eric Roberts, he's only in it for like a half a minute because, like, you know, he just like visits him in prison at the end of the movie, and then he
He's
just
in
kind of
that
like
new-
comes out looking kind of bulky or whatever.
He's in that new fucking Damien Chazelle movie that the trailer just dropped today. That Babylon movie.
Oh, I haven't
Like,
watched that trailer.
that has
yet.
like
Yeah.
Margot Robbie and like Brad Pitt in it, and there's like a thing where he and Brad Pitt are laughing at each other's faces, and you're like, "The fuck is that? Eric Roberts?" What?
He just shows up and shit all the time.
Like, okay,
he just
man.
never stops working, really.
No,
But
he's
he
like,
is-
he's like, yeah, I'll
he
be.
has a good arc on the Righteous Gemstones. The
Oh, does he?
second.
Oh,
season
really?
now. Yeah.
I had no idea.
That
Wow.
show. People
And
love
he
that one.
was terrible in the 1996 made for TV Doctor Who movie that was on Fox.
All
that,
right,
with
he's
Paul
like the
McGann.
villain in that or something.
He's the
isn't he?
master, and my headcanon is that he's also playing the master in the Mr. Brightside video by the Killers. That's my headcanon, is that he's playing the master in that.
Oh, which?
I didn't remember that.
And
Good.
those and that Mariah Carey video that he was in. Eric Roberts had that weird stretch where he was just a sleazy fuckhead in multiple like music videos.
Like, well, if you're gonna go all out, right,
Yeah.
baby?
His one terrible
which
line.
Batman movie is he in? He's in the first one or the like?
No,
the
he's in
first
Dark
one?
Knight.
He's in Dark Knight. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, because he's like, if you're gonna drop me, or this isn't gonna.
This
kill
fall
me,"
wouldn't
and
kill me
it's
from
like,
this height.
it's like,
Yeah.
I'm planning on it.
Doesn't he play which does he play, Falcone or Baroni?
I'm trying
Baroni,
to
I
remember. I'm
think.
looking up.
Macaroni and cheese.
He plays. Come
That was the
on.
thing, like watching the Batman, where like Falcone and Marone is like, you couldn't have
No, he's not
thought of like
Falcone,
two
'cause-
different, like more different sounding fucking Bob Kane. What are you coming up with?
Also,
being-
like Maroney. He
You
plays
try
Maroney.
very hard.
Yeah, because
Plays Maroni, right?
yeah, because Tom Wilkinson plays Falcone in the first Batman movie. It's like you guys just really weren't trying to get Italian people at all, were
No.
you?
well, and then because in the fucking Batman they got motherfucking Turturro, like one of the most Italian actors like around.
I
Yeah,
love it. Yeah.
yeah. I was pretty pumped to see him in that movie.
I mean, when aren't we pumped to see Turturro?
Always pumped to see Turturro. Anyway,
I'm
put your
just
hand
like,
for
even
Turturro.
when it's just a mobster, or
Yeah.
it's just like it's nice to see somebody who's Italian play
Yeah.
an actual Italian.
Yeah, not Ewan McGregor as fucking
Right.
Black Mask. I love that movie too, dude. I'm a big fan of Birds of Prey.
It was fun.
But yeah, it's just like, come on, you know? Come on.
Come on!
Does Chris Pratt really have to play Mario? I found out the other day Adam
mean-
Scott is a quarter Sicilian. I'm like, let him be Mario. You know what I mean?
Or just, I mean, okay, I know we're trying to leave, but just real quick, like, here's my thing with the Mario, because like when I remember when I heard Illumination was doing it, I was like, oh, good, because Illumination, they now have multiple hit movies where the title characters speak in gibberish and don't say any words, like, so they can just have Mario and Luigi or whatever and sound like they do in the games, and then just have like a fucking like Koopa or Lakitu or whatever, like with the camera, and they can just have them speak in normal language and it'll be fine. But no, we have to get Chris Pratt while he is on his like downward spiral in terms of popularity, at least on the internet, where people are like, your fucking movies are bland and you're a bootlicker, get the fuck out.
Dude, Guardians 3 will at least boost him up a little.
yeah.
Bit. I'm so fucking pumped for I'm pumped for the Christmas special. I'm pumped for Guardians 3. I cannot fucking wait. It doesn't. Oh yeah, Untitled Mario. I'm looking up now who is writing this Super Mario's movie, because that makes a big difference.
It's
That's
probably
very true.
I
A
wonder
guy
if it'll
named Matthew Fogel, who
Fogel.
he wrote Minions 2, The Rise of Gru, or Minions: The Rise of Gru. He wrote the Lego Movie 2, which
oof.
I didn't see that one, but
Yeah, I didn't.
and he wrote Big Mama's, Like Father Like Son, the third, I think, Big Mama's House movie.
Where Brandon T. Jackson's along for the ride
Yeah,
because they were
that's,
trying to
that's
make him a big star.
That's not super promising.
No,
No, it's not.
Well, hey,
I was hoping they'd at least get like a Brian Lynch, who's like written some of those Despicable Me movies and like some comics or whatever. And
well, hey, maybe they'll cancel that movie, and then Drew and I will be the Mario Brothers.
Bam.
We tried. All right, put your hands for Nick Glasser. First of all, put your hands for Porky's 2, but not the movie Porky's 2. Put your hands for Chris Pratt not playing Mario. Put your hands for Eric Roberts still not dead yet. Put your hands for Luke Swisher. Put your hands for Drew Rogers. Put your hands for me, Jameson Rogers. Put your hands for our producers, Cameron Rogers and Anna Kabakova. And put your hands for yourselves. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you next week.
This is Mixlaw Production.
Plus time and stuff. You watched it and it was fun and long this time. But you enjoyed it. Hopefully.
This is Mixlaw Production.
Oh,
Like us on Facebook. We're Book Time.
Yeah.
This is a show that we make and we like it. And